Hello everyone. So in our previous lecture we discussed about BDD, which is behavior driven development. We saw that how we can use the given when then format, and we can write our test case in three phases, which is arrange, act and assert. So in this lecture we will see that how we can perform stubbing of methods in a traditional Mockito style and then in BDD Mockito style. So in one of our previous lecture, when we were discussing test doubles and we discussed about the stub, there we actually saw the demonstration of a proper stubbing where we tested the get new books with applied discount method. We passed in the discount rate and the number of days. So based on the number of days, we first fetched the new books. So let's say we pass 7. So we first fetched the list of new books which are published in the past week. And once we got the new books, we iterated over each and every book. We took its original price and then based on the discount rate, we first calculated the discounted price and then we subtracted it from the original price to get the new price, and finally we set the new price to the book, and at last we simply return the list of books. So if I open the test case of it, so here you can see that this is the traditional way we do stubbing in Mockito, where we created the mock. We use the mock dependency to our book service. Then we created 2 books which were published in past 7 days, and then we created a list of new books out of it, and we simply mocked the find new books method, that when it was called with 7, then we simply returned our new books, so that after getting the new books we can apply our logic of calculating the discounted price. And once we got the list of books with the applied discount, we asserted at the final step. So friends, we'll take this example and we'll see that how we can use BDD style to write a test case. So here in our Java folder, I will create a package. We'll give it a name as BDD dot stubbing, and here I will simply copy these 3 classes because we are simply demonstrating this example in BDD style. So I'll just paste it here. And then in our test, I'll create the same package. Here let's say I copy this class stub test. And here I will simply remove this test. And also friend, instead of doing this stuff like creating mock using mock method, what I'll do is I'll simply copy this stuff and I will provide the extend with annotation so that it can support the annotations. Let's say give the test name as test stubbing in traditional Mockito style. So friends, if I run the test case now, So here you can see test case ran successfully. Now we'll use this same example and we'll see that how we can write the test in BDD Mockito style. So here I'll be creating a test. So friends, when we write our test in BDD style, what we generally do is we also give the name to our test in given when then style, and there are various other way to give the name. So one of the way which we give the name to our test is we name it something like test, then comes our given part. So here, as we are testing this method, get new books with applied discount. So with the new books we mean that whatever days we provide, that range will be considered as new. And also discount rate is the percentage of discount which we want to apply on the new books. So here, usually we write something as given. Let's say we are given new books. New books. Then we provide an underscore. When. We give the method name. Get new books with applied discount is called. Then we provide then. And finally what we get is new books with applied discount. New books with applied discount is returned. So friend, this is how we give the test name in given when then style. So here you can see that though our test name is very long, but once a developer reads it, he can come to know what the test case is doing. So he can simply read it as given new books when get new books with applied discount is called, then new books with applied discount is returned. And also friend, with JUnit 5, if you don't want to provide the long test names, what we can do is we can give a short test name, and here we can use @display name annotation, and inside that we can simply give the text as given, something like new books. Something like this, that given new books when get new books with applied discount method is called, then new books with applied discount is returned. So friend, these are the one of the ways by which we can write our test in given when then format. And there are various ways to provide a test name for our test. So this is one of the way. So when we write our test, what we simply do is we break our test in 3 sections. First one is arrange, which corresponds to given. Then is act, which is when. And then is assert, which is then. So ideally we break our test case into these three parts. So now let's see what goes in each of these part. So in the arrange part, what we do is we do the initialization of the system under test, initialization of the mocks, and as we are using annotation, so these two steps are already done. Then we initialize the data which is basically required to perform our test, which is also an arrangement. So here I'll simply copy this part and paste it here. So this is also one of our arrangement. And after that, what we do is, as we want to mock this stuff out, because currently book repository doesn't go to database, we need to mock this stuff. And whenever find new books is called with days as 7, we need to simply return this new books. So here this is the traditional Mockito way to stub out. Now same thing can be done with BDD Mockito class, which has methods such as this is a given part, so here we do something like given. So inside given we provide the mock object, and here you can see it asking to import BDD Mockito.given. We mock this method out, passing value as 7, and instead of then return, there is a method called will return. So will return new books. So friends, here you can see this stubbing is a part of our given phase, that we need to stub this out because we can't test our method without this given stub. So BDD Mockito has this method by name given. So instead of when then return, we can use BDD Mockito's given will return. So after this step, we know that there are no more stubbing or initialization needs to be done. So what we do is, then we move to our act phase. So in the act phase, what we do is, this is the action which we perform, and the action is to call the actual method. So this line, if I simply copy and paste it here, so this is what our action is, that whatever we are testing in our system under test, we simply call that action. And it also states that when book service.get new books with applied discount is called, like this. So this is our action, and after performing the action, the final step we do is we simply provide the asserts. So here in the assert phase, we can either provide these asserts, and if I run the test case, you can see the test case got executed successfully. So in the then phase, we simply provide the assertions, that whatever is returned from our action, we simply provide asserts on the top of it. And here if you see, this is also the traditional Mockito style. Now what we can do here is to improve the readability. We comment this out. So if you are using this stuff, then also it works fine. But here what we do is, there is one library by name AssertJ, which has a class BDD assertions, which provides the nice methods to do the assertions. So mostly with BDD Mockito, we use this class. So in order to get this class, we need to provide a dependency for AssertJ. So here what we do is, we open our pom.xml, and then we go to Chrome, and here we simply search AssertJ Core Maven, and here we will get the Maven dependency for AssertJ Core library. We open this, and let's say we pick the latest version. We copy this part, and here we simply paste it. And once we get this AssertJ Core library, here if you see, if I search for BDD assertions, you can see it's present in AssertJ Core 3.14, and if you open that, here you can see there are many methods, but one of the important method is then, which is overloaded. So here let's say first assertion we provide is then. Inside then we provide whatever is returned. So then new, and here you can see it asks us to import BDD assertions then method. So we simply import it, and then we have few other methods on BDD assertions, like then new books with applied discount. Let's say we check for is not null. So this is one of the method which checks that whatever is returned, the list of books is not null. And similarly, if I copy this, let's say we check for the size. So we simply copy this. New books with applied discount dot size, and there is method as is equal to. So we provide the value as 2. So let's say if we run the test, so here you can see the test case got executed successfully. And similarly we can provide other asserts. Let's say if I copy this part, and inside that I do Command Shift V, and I place this part, and here we provide the value as 450. And if I run the test case again, so friends, here you can see the test case got executed successfully. So friends, in this lecture we saw that how we can write our test case in given when then style using BDD Mockito and BDD assertions. I hope you like this video. Thanks, have a nice day.